Being a teenager is extremely difficult if you're not in shape. Really just existing as a man or a young man growing up, it's pretty difficult if you're not in shape. Now, I can say this as someone who I was not in a great spot physically. I was used to eating just whatever food my parents fed me, which wasn't always terrible, but you know, a lot of times we have like ice cream or dessert, just unhealthy stuff, right? And it's, you know, it tastes good, but really you're just eating for dopamine. You're not really eating for fuel, right? You're not being intentional with what you're eating. Now, I mean, I can tell you that if you have low confidence, it's probably because you're not in shape. You're not where you want to be physically, and you just gotta get in shape and increase your discipline. And it's not easy at the start, because you gotta get in the gym or do some kind of physical activity that will increase your calories burnt. You're gonna have to lock in on your diet. You're gonna have to really think about what you're eating on a daily basis. And it's not easy to start, because you gotta cut out all the junk food, all the garbage, like 99% of it, right? You just gotta stick to the basics. You got, you know, chicken breast and beef and all this other stuff, right? Now, a lack of discipline is a lack of self-respect. If you are not where you want to be in life, if you're not where you want to be physically, if you don't have the body that you look at in the mirror and you go, yeah, you know, I'm happy about that. If you don't think that, you just gotta lock in, man. It's really about when you're eating this junk food, you're using your body as a means to an end. So what I mean by that is, you know, your body has your taste buds and your dopamine system in your brain and whatever. When you eat tasty processed junk food, it's got all this salt and sugar and fat and stuff, it feels good in the moment, but you're kind of like a drug addict, because you're not actually taking care of your body. It's not good for you. Food is it's a fuel. Your body needs it to survive. Like, you can't just not eat food, you'll die, right? Everyone knows this. When you're eating this junk food, you're using food as a coping mechanism, basically. And what are you coping for? You're coping for a lack of confidence, low confidence. And this low confidence, again, comes from probably being rejected socially, right? You don't feel like you fit in, all this stuff. You see all these people who look like they're doing better than you, all these guys who are in great shape, and they're all living the perfect dream life, right? I mean, most of that's not real. I mean, the getting in shape part is, but the dream life, everything being perfect all the time, just doesn't happen, right? So you got this low confidence and you don't know where to start. Well, the solution would be to get as strong as you possibly can, like physically, as a man, right? You got to go to the gym, and you got to just focus on getting stronger at the lifts, right? Pick the ones that are good for you, pick the ones that you like doing, and just stick to that over, man, even if you did a year and just were consistent 4 or 5 days a week, even 3 days a week, you could be much farther ahead than where you are. Now, the thing with this is you have to stick to it. This is the hardest part. anyone could go to the gym for one day and have the perfect routine that's the most science-based and optimal and perfect nutrition for like a week, right? It wouldn't really do anything for you because it's not long enough. This is a time-based thing. This is not you forcing growth in like a week, okay? This is gonna take discipline and consistency. You have to just stick to it. When I started out, it was for a school sport, right? We were in the weight room. I'd never touched a weight before. I mean, I touched dumbbells or whatever, but like I'd never bench pressed before. I'd never squatted. I'd never seen people who were good at that stuff either. I walked in as a little freshman in high school, not knowing anything about this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I bet I'm pretty strong. I bet I could do this. No. Dudes in there, they're sophomores in high school benching like 275 for reps. I'm like, okay. So this is a whole different game. There's levels to this. But I stuck to it. I kept going. And I'm now about to go into my sophomore year of college. And so I've been lifting, I mean, not super consistently like at the start, but for at least 2 years I've been really every week doing mostly good, right? 80%. If you're 80% good for like at least 2 years, you'll be fine. And I'm gonna keep stressing this. Consistency is the key here. You cannot quit. You have to keep going. When you show up and do what you said you were gonna do over like 6 months even, it will build self-confidence because you know that you can do what you said you were gonna do. Okay? You don't have to have perfect genetics, you know, unless you have like a severe disability that doesn't allow you to do this, which very unfortunate. I'm very sorry for you. But for the 99.99% of you out there, young men who are able-bodied and can do this, you just got to start. This is the easiest time in your life to start because you have the most time right now. I mean, if you're in high school still, think about it. You go to class, you go to school all day, and you come home at like 3:30, 4, whenever your school ends. And maybe you have a sport, and if you have a sport, it makes it way easier because you've probably lived for that too. And you're physically active. It's great. Keep that up. But if you don't have a sport, and you don't have any other commitments, you've got a good 6-hour chunk before you got to be in bed. You got plenty of time to go to the gym, plenty of time to go. And we got apps and stuff that can track your food and tell you all the macros, the protein, carbohydrates, and fats, and other things associated with it, all your calories. You can figure all that stuff out on your own. You'll be good. So the main thing I'm stressing here, consistency. Go and start and keep going and do not quit. That is really all you got to do. It is not as complicated as some people make it seem. Do not get roped in to all this science-based junk on social media. It's helpful sometimes, but vast majority of it is just overcomplicating things that could easily be solved. Like, you will get all the same progress if you just stick to it. Like, sure, you might tweak your hand here or what, like, to get the perfect bicep pump or what, like, it doesn't matter, man. It just doesn't matter. So the trying to find the perfect plan means nothing if you're not gonna stick to it. So pick a program that you enjoy doing that is effective at building muscle and making you stronger and all that stuff, right? And just increase your reps, increase your sets, just get stronger at it. That's all you gotta do. So stick to it, don't quit. That's really all I gotta say.